What is up guys, Speed here, and today I'm going over a topic that I've seen a lot of people request in the comments in previous videos, and for that I thought I'd jump right into it. And this topic is the best mids of the recent patch. Now, I think the meta has changed a lot. I think a lot of the last pick mids have fallen out of favor, such as Huskar Brood. Just 22nd pick mid, or last pick in pubs, as most of you know it as, is not as effective as it used to be. So I think a new wave of mid laners has come into fruition, and I'm going to be talking about those heroes that you can pick early into the draft and with enough experience, roam and gank to have high impact in your games, regardless of what pick you have in all pick. And before we jump into the video, I just want to let you guys know once again, if you hadn't heard about it before, we now have our own private Discord server in which you can ask me any question about Dota that you like, where you can participate in polls that we'll be hosting in the future, potential giveaways in the future, just a lot of cool exciting events that we'll be hosting so that you guys can feel more of a part of the community that we're trying to build, and I'm really excited to have you guys over there. So definitely check it out. It's in the comment section down below. Actually, it's not in the comment section, it's in the description down below, but just go check that out. Yeah, come ask me a question. Before I get into the actual heroes, I just want to say that I'm leaving out Viper, simply because I think the hero is kind of on a different tier. It actually can be countered, and I think there are some ways to counter it. However, it is extremely reliable, and I previously made a video on it, so I'm just leaving it out for content's sake, just so you can have a little bit of a different taste in this video. But as I said, number 5 is Kunkka. And the reason I think Kunkka is still good, and super good actually, is because the hero can be picked 9th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, it can be picked in any position in the draft, and it will most likely have a good game. I don't think there's any notable counters that actually push it out of lane. It can lane almost against every single hero, and you might question Timbersaw or Monkey King, but actually with enough experience and with proper jungle techniques where you bounce in between the lane and the jungle, you actually can make this hero work in every single game. You will get farm and levels no matter what. And the great thing about Kunkka is as long as you have your boat, your torrent, your X, you're going to provide a lot of utility for your team and be able to defend towers until the game ends. Kunkka's ability to just dominate Viper all throughout the game, even when Viper has Atos Greaves, you actually can do a fair amount of damage to him simply because your nukes do so much damage, and Tidebringer is just raw damage every 4 seconds. There's very little Viper can do to get out of the way, and therefore Kunkka is easily still a super viable mid. Next up on the list at number 4, we have Bounty Hunter. Now, Bounty Hunter is on this list because the hero is actually absurd with levels. No matter how much farm you have, as long as you have levels, you're going to dominate the game. And for that, I would recommend putting him mid. I think a lot of people put him off lane, they'll run him as a support. I've seen carry Bounty Hunter, but in my personal opinion, I think the hero is best fit as a mid because in a lot of matchups, you don't get dominated. And for this, with phase boots, even if you don't have phase boots, just brown boots, you can roam around the map, steal a lot of gold, and just keep the pace of the game very high for your team. I know there's a lot of teams right now that are running things like Chen, Ember Spirit, all these high tempo heroes that have the ability to set a nice pace for the game, and in addition with a high level bounty hunter, there's almost nothing the side lanes can do to escape his wrath. Honestly, you can rack up so much gold, being that you get over 200 gold for yourself and for your team in total, and in general just getting track kills and racking them up is really hard to deal with in terms of a tempo state. Next up on the list we have Lycan. Now I really like Lycan. I think the hero is going to become more popular as the patch goes on, and I think as a mid, the hero has super high sustain and has been played as a mid in the past, so this is not some crazy idea I'm coming up with. However, what I want to say is that the wolves are a lot better at level 1 now. They are a lot more tanky, and as a result, you can actually use them to deny last hit much more effectively than in the past. This gives you the ability to win the early levels, get a lot of last hits and denies, and snowball very quickly. You're one of the fastest junglers in the game, and with every time your ultimate is off cooldown, you can easily kill the side lanes. There's almost no heroes similar to Bounty Hunter that can actually get you off them. Your movement speed is just way too high. You can't slow them, stuns are not long enough at this point in the game, and often people are very squishy. And for that, you can snowball like a madman with Lycan coming in the mid role. In addition, I actually think Lycan is quite similar to Viper in a sense, where at some point in the laning stage, if you feel like you can't lane for whatever reason, you easily can go jungle. There's no downside. You jungle just as fast as people lane and don't require much resources. Maybe you need a clarity here and there. However, if you pair it like something with a CM, you'll never need so, and you can easily roam to that lane and destroy it. So in general, this hero is similar to Viper. You can pick it in every single game because no matter what your lane looks like, you're going to easily be able to just jungle all the hard lane off and come out scot-free. It's really reliable, and that's why I think heroes like Lycan and Viper are so nice to have in your hero pool in this current meta, because you can just pick them first. If your team isn't willing to pick, or they want a better last pick for carry role, you can easily just pick it and not feel bad about it. Next up at number 2 is Ember Spirit. Now, I made a video on Ember Spirit, specifically Thompson's Ember Spirit, and how OG utilizes the hero. I think the great thing about Ember Spirit is you don't even need a team to utilize his strengths. With the Phase Boots, Drums, Maelstrom build, you roam around so quickly, you do a ton of damage, and Sleight of Fist has been buffed by so much that your laning stage is actually quite nice. You can dodge a ton of spells, considering Sleight of Fist is now only an 18-second cooldown at level 1. In addition, I've actually seen Ember Spirits beat Huskar, so I'm pretty confident that a lot of the matchups that might have seemed hard for Ember in the past are actually quite playable with the new Sleight of Fist buffs. In addition, the greatest thing about the hero is its innate amount of mobility. Now, what I mean by that is in solo queue, mobility heroes often reign supreme, especially in the lower MMR brackets, because the communication and ability to synergize stuns is not there. People aren't willing to gank, they don't necessarily combo their spells too well together, and as a result you can roam free, go into the side lanes, and rarely ever get punished. In addition, similar to Lycan and Viper, this ability to jungle when behind is quite nice. Flame Guard gives you the ability to catch up in levels, hit a nice level 6 timing no matter how your lane went. As long as you're careful and maybe watch my Viper video about how I talk about how to make your ganks more efficient, you can pair this information with Ember Spirit knowledge and just run over games. The hero is very easy to gank with, one slight chain plus a remnant kills nearly most heroes, and you're very hard to get killed. With the new Phase Boots and Drum build, you have insane movement speed. It's super hard to catch the hero, it's hard to run away from the hero, and Maelstrom is easily one of the highest DPS items for Ember Spirit. So with the new Sleight of Fist build that people are going where they max it out early, the synergy between this and Maelstrom is amazing. Really, you do so much damage. I can't support this build enough. I think Ember Spirit will gain in popularity, especially if he ends up receiving another buff in the future, and for that I put him number 2 on my list. And finally, a hero that actually has received so much notoriety within the past month is Pango mid. Now, this is actually something a few players have experimented with in the past, but within the last few weeks it has exploded. Almost every high MMR mid player, including the majority of pros such as Mid1, CCNC, Sheer, are playing this hero. They're all playing this hero, and for good reason. Similar to Bounty Hunter, Ember Spirit, Lycan, you'll notice a common theme with all of them. No matter what happens to them in lane, if they have levels, they will easily be able to roam around the map and crush the enemy team. The great thing about the mid lane is that you have such an XP advantage over everyone. Heroes that have the innate ability to move around the map quickly make the best use out of these levels. Now, someone like Viper is a little bit different, doesn't have high mobility, but can make jungling use out of the levels. However, a hero like Pango, with max swashbuckle, a point and lucky shot, and your ultimate, can kill anyone. I know I keep saying this about heroes, but it's the common truth between all of them. If you have the ability to roam around the map and make use of your levels, in addition while pushing out lanes, you're going to stay on top of the net worth and ruin the side lanes. Just imagine a game where the enemy team has something like a Storm Spirit or a Shadow Fiend that isn't rotating around the map while you're killing the side lanes. Their team is going to hate them. They're just going to be yelling at them the whole game, collapsing while you're standing there as the great leader. Your whole team is just standing there praising you, bowing down. Oh my god, you're saving my lane. I was 0-5, my support was yelling at me. I don't know what was happening, but my Pango, he's come to save the day. And for that, Pango is easily number 1 on my list. Javelin, in addition, is one of the highest DPS items for how little it costs with Swashbuckle, so you don't need a lot of gold to do so much damage. Just, if you haven't seen Swashbuckle Javelin damage, just go check it out. It's insane. If you buy 2, it's even more insane. If you buy Maelstrom, you one-shot creep waves. Really, this hero has so much utility. It's super hard to kill. It clears creep waves. It ganks efficiently. It does so much in the mid lane role. And for that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to question any of these heroes and you feel like I missed anything, definitely comment it down in the comment section below. I'm happy to hear what you guys think. I definitely am not certain about all these heroes, right? I think Lycan is kind of a little bit weird because his ultimate does put him on this weird timer sometimes. However, definitely try all these out in your pubs. I think they have a great ability to run the tempo of the game and keep the pace up so that your team is happy and your hard carry will get items. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.